Hello and welcome to another housing ideas and tips video with Rosa. In this video I will be looking at indoor gardens and a garden for a stone type courtyard. So I'll just be giving you some general tips on what furniture items you can use to set up your own garden display like I have here. So I'm in my Eleanor townhouse, and when you first enter I've made it so this garden display is the first thing you see when you enter. So what I've used to put this together is the Eleanor walls, just a stone wall long, and the Eleanor wall stone. As the long wall here wasn't long enough to go all the way across, so I had to get the smaller one there just to finish to fill up that gap. I like using these walls because they have that design there, as you can see, which looks nice with a garden display here like that. You can also use the Eleanor fences, which have the actual fence on top there. You just might have to put it in further in the ground a bit more, and you can use that instead of the wall, but again it's up to you. And to hide the tiled floor underneath it, you can use the hedges, just the hedge overgrown long. These hedges you can get from the home goods vendor here in Eleanor, or there's also the other hedges, but they are smaller. These ones you can get from the home goods vendor in Oridon from Skywatch, but I prefer the overgrown ones as they're bigger. So you just use that to hide the tiles, and then you put your plants and trees or whatever over that. Depends how you set up your garden. This big mushroom here, I'll mention it's a Crown Store item. It was part of the Mafala furnishing pack, I believe, but they added them to the Furniture Crown Store just here. I had to get a couple of them because they're purple, of course, but besides that I do like them, and they make a nice central display. And yeah, I've got the glowing plants and that around. So that's the main plant display I put there. And further along here I have just a small one here. Same idea as the entrance, except I've used the curved stone corner wall, just one of them here, and put it there, and also using a hedge to hide the tiled floor, and then just put the plant and tree over it. And up here I have another one. Using two of the stone corner walls and a hedge in there again. But there's also a rock I found that you can use. It's called the Boulder Basalt Slab. This one is a home goods furniture item from the Clockwork City, just in the Brass Fortress. As you can see, it is like a dark dirt type soil colour, so you'll be able to use the smaller curved end here to give it that soil effect. And yeah, it looks like dirt there instead of the hedges if you want to do it that way. And you just put your plant above there and it still looks nice. So you can do it that way. And there's also, besides these walls here, just in my courtyard, I'll quickly show you. You can use the retaining walls. So there's a curved retaining wall, there's a long retaining wall, or a short retaining wall. But I like these curved and long ones here because with the curved ones that I have around here, they make a nice effect going around rather than having it all square and boxed off. And up here I have the same. And with the curved ones, you can be creative and make like a circle plant display, just as an example. It's not perfect, but you get the idea. And then you can put the hedge in the middle there like that, and then put your flowers or trees in there however you set up your plant display. We'll do that tree. Of course yours will be neater than that. And these retaining walls as well, with how I have mine set up here, I'll just show you. Like here near the wall, you don't have to have it like I do. You can instead make like a layered garden display, so you can have another layer of plants and flowers above that, just as an example. You can then put other plants or glowing plants up there and trees and have a multi-layered garden like that if you want to, which works well. And you can do that multi-layered tier inside with your indoor garden as well. I'll just show you. I'll do it here. So you'll be able to, if you want to, use these retaining walls inside your house. I know they are a lighter stone colour, but if you have the space, you can use the blocks to make a section to put your plants in. Something like that as an example, and then put your plants in the middle. There's also other furniture items you can use, such as this statue square base, as it has that dip in the middle that you can use to put plants. You just have to hide the stone look there with more hedges or just plants. What I've used in my other houses is these orcish bar long blocks, because when you put them upside down, it also has that dip in the middle where you can put plants. Just as an example, I will do so. So yeah, I've got those plants there, but you still see the wood. But you can hide that with the thinner hedges here. And yeah, you got yourself a plant box there. Put some bushes or glowing plants, as I know I'm not the only one who loves the glowing plants, and make a plant display like that. I really do like using the orchid bars because they are big and long. You can also use the dark elf counter bar, as it also has that middle area there which you can put plants in. And for an indoor garden as well, you can do that multi-tiered level of plants. So just imagine that's full of plants, and then you can do another layer with plants in it, and you can make an interesting garden inside your house, or a alchemy garden, whatever you're putting your garden together for. And there's also something else I found that you can use, just the Breton shelf barrel rack. There's also a dark elf barrel rack, and I believe there's a red guard one as well. So I found that if you have a tall ceiling like this, you can put that in like that, and then have one underneath that hanging off the one up there. And as you can see, the top part of this does show with the top one just here, but if you're putting plants in it anyway, you won't see that wood there. So it looks like it's hanging, it's one hanging thing there, and then you can just put plants in that, be it glowing thistles or just the flowers. And yeah, at the top, on the top layer as well, you can do the same. It's hard to see from down here. And yeah, you can cover that up with glowing plants on the top layer. You can make an interesting looking garden. It's not perfect, but you get the idea. I might use this in a future house idea that I do, because it is a good idea. Even if your house has a lower roof and you just use the one of these, it will still make an interesting looking plant display that you can use for an indoor garden or alchemy garden. So just thought that was a good idea as well. There are plenty of other furniture items you can use to put plants in, such as these red guard bench arcs. They do have that gap there, but if you set them up near a wall, they work really well to put plants in, as you can hide that gap in the wall and just put your plants in the middle, however you set it up. And the Eleanor fences, as I showed you before, also work well to put plants in, as you can link them together and make an area to put plants in. But these would work better in a courtyard, as if you've been around Somerset, they have quite a few of these around with trees and other plants in them, so they'll work well in a courtyard. And yeah, you can use other furniture items to put plants in. You just have to look at furniture items that might have a dip in it, or just make your own section of area to put your plants in, and it'll work well. And you'll be able to make your own indoor garden or garden for your courtyard. So that's just some simple ideas that you can use for your own indoor garden. These Allenall walls and fences won't work in every house, as other houses have darker stone colour or houses made of wood, but you can get around that by just looking at different types of furniture items that you could use to set up your own garden inside your house or in your courtyard. So I hope this video helps you to set up your own indoor garden. I know that was just some quick ideas that I went over, and there's probably ideas that you have that I didn't go through, but everyone adapts it their own way to make their own house work for them. So I will see you around, and thanks for watching.